ascension.
Hey, what's up guys? Thank you so much for being here. As always, you guys are amazing, and shout out to everyone who's been joining this amazing family. Before I get started on the topic of this video, I did want to just come on and say that the reason why I haven't been uploading as frequently as I was like the past 2 months, this month has been extremely busy for me. Honestly, the busiest month that I've had since starting my business, and it's been amazing coaching so many people and help leading people back to health. But with that also comes the fact that I'm the customer service guy, I'm the CEO, I'm the engineering guy, I'm the everything guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm one guy, I don't have any staff at this point in my career, so, you know, it's a lot to handle, but I'm doing it, and I feel so blessed to be able to say that I'm doing this full time, so that's great. I did just hop off of a call, but I now have an hour or two free, so I was like, you know what, let me try to knock out a video, do this. This is actually a video I've been wanting to make for a while now, and I know it can help a lot of people. This is a video that I wish I would have seen when I started my detoxification journey, my healing journey, I should say. Detoxification came a few months after that, and we'll talk more about that in a second. But this is the problem with the Dr. Sebi diet. That's what this video is going to be about. And I know people are very, very sensitive when it comes to not only their food in general, but more specifically like specific diets. When we start talking about the 80-10-10 diet, the keto diet, the Dr. Sebi diet, the raw vegan diet, the raw till 4 diet, there's so many different diets out there, and people tend to take the Dr. Sebi diet in particular very personal. I know because I've been there, and you feel like it is the absolute truth. And so we're going to get into that here. Another thing I want to say as a little like disclaimer is that this is what I've learned in my journey, in my healing journey, and when I graduated as a certified detoxification specialist, this has been my journey. So I'm not here trying to push my beliefs on anybody. This is just how I've learned about chemistry, about acid versus alkaline. This is what I've learned about healing the system and what it actually takes to regenerate cells. Also, I am very familiar with the Dr. Sebi diet as I've eaten it myself. I did it for months, and I've been to the Usha village myself. I'll post some pictures up here for you guys to see. You know, I love Dr. Sebi, so I have to say that I love Dr. Sebi. I love what he has done, especially for the Black community as well as the Hispanic community, because he is from Honduras, and when I went to the village out there, it's Hispanic people everywhere. So just for people of color in general, Dr. Sebi has really been a lifesaver, and he's been amazing. And he was a part of my journey for a reason. I do think that God, whatever you believe in, my higher power, speaking for myself, put Dr. Sebi and his methodology on my path for a reason, because it helped set me up for what was to come and what I'm doing now, which is helping people heal their own bodies. This is what I've been called to do, so this is what I'm doing. I'm obeying my higher power. So one of the things that I wish Dr. Sebi had spoken about more was the importance of raw food when it comes to healing. Dr. Sebi has there's an alkaline food chart that you can follow. I'll post it over here. The problem with that is that when it comes to healing, so let's say somebody has cancer, you cannot eat cooked food and also regenerate the system, because what happens is when you cook your food, you cook the enzymes, vitamins, and minerals, or the life force, away from that food. I know this is a very controversial topic, but I'm taking a scientific stance on this. When something has a pH of 7 or above, it is alkaline, and what happens is that when you cook the enzymes, vitamins, and minerals, your body actually does see it as foreign. So recommending that someone has, this is from like, let's say his diet, his diet plan, or the foods that he allows you to eat, fonio or quinoa or wild rice. When you're cooking that food, and then you're cooking some chickpeas, and then you're steaming and frying some mushrooms, that is not a healing diet. And this is where I know I'll probably get a bunch of dislikes or a bunch of comments and controversy, because people take this diet really, really seriously. And I know because I've been there, and I understand. But now that I understand this from the standpoint of a healer, those foods are a hell of a lot healthier than the standard American diet. So if you're going to have, quinoa with some chickpeas, it's better than having, rice and beans and just black beans. Yes, those foods are way more natural, but when you cook them, you cook the enzymes, vitamins, and minerals out of a food. Most kidneys are filtering in general, so I want to put that out there too. When it comes to kidney filtration, everyone's kidneys filter to an extent, but your kidneys have to filter out acid at a very expedited rate to be able to say that you're actually on a detoxifying protocol. If your kidneys weren't filtering at all, then you would have kidney failure. Eventually you would die, or very quickly you would more than likely pass away, and you would be very sick, because that is literally how your body gets rid of toxins. But the thing is that when you have cooked food, you stop that detoxification process. You stop your kidneys from adequately filtering. And so I wish Dr. Sebi would have spoke more about, he did speak a lot about fasting, so I'm going to give him, you know, all the respect and credit he deserves, because there's a video compilation I've seen 30 minutes long worth videos of him talking about fasting, and fasting is the way our bodies naturally heal. That's great. But if someone doesn't see that video and they just don't know that it's out there, and they think that they're eating alkaline by eating, you know, fried mushrooms, it's not an alkaline diet. I want to give you guys an example to put what I'm saying into perspective, and I've used this example with clients before as well. Let's say I had an apple tree. I picked an apple from the apple tree, and I didn't even take a bite of the apple, didn't eat the apple, just took the apple, planted it underground a few feet away from this apple tree, or maybe even a mile away from this apple tree over here in some really good soil. Eventually that apple underground would form into an apple tree. That's the quick process of me, you know, explaining it to you guys. Eventually an apple tree would grow from that, because you took something that was alive from the apple tree, an apple, and you planted it somewhere else. Now let's say you took that same apple and you put it in the oven for 450 degrees, let's say for 45 minutes or so, and then you took that apple and then you planted it underground somewhere. An apple tree would never grow. Why? Because the life force in that apple has died. The body requires energy, it requires biophotons, it requires life in order to regenerate. We are living beings, we need living food. Another thing to keep in mind, you know, look at all the species in the world. Besides the animals that we've domesticated, such as dogs and cats, all the other living species in the world, they don't have all these manifestations of diseases. That's not to say that they don't get diseases ever. Of course, every living thing has the capability of getting sick. But they don't, we have, as humans, we are a sick species. We have so many types of manifestations of disease. It's not just like one or two things. You know, animals in the wild, they're dying for the most part if they go hungry because there's no food left, or because a predator killed them and ate them. Other than that, they're living to their old age. You know, they're living with nature, they're eating food that is alive, that is raw. So this concept that it's like very extreme to eat raw vegan, or that it's so weird, actually we kind of went the opposite way and made it very extreme to be cooking and frying and processing our foods like cheese and milk and dairy. These foods are so processed and so acidic and so clogging to our lymphatic system. So, and to get into a little bit of what the lymphatic system does, I've talked about this in plenty of other videos, but the lymphatic system is your body's sewer system. So the same way you eat and then you poop, your cells are eating and then they're pooping too. The system that their waste goes into, your cellular waste, goes into your lymphatic system. And when you're eating cooked foods, that lymphatic system gets clogged and clogged and clogged. Think about if you were to go to use the bathroom every single time that you ate, and then you only flushed once a week. So a lot of that residue was still there. Eventually it gets more and more and more and more backed up, and then what happens is you develop systemic acidosis, which results in a plethora of diseases, any disease. That's why I say that the only real disease is toxemia, or systemic acidosis, manifested in a different location of the body. So if you have systemic acidosis or lymphatic stagnation in your head, you might develop NMO. I have 2 clients that are dealing with NMO right now. But wherever this cellular waste backs up is what ultimately will manifest into symptoms, and then you know, you'll be diagnosed with a dis-ease, which is really just your body not being at ease. This is why I'm saying that the idea that you're eating an alkaline diet by eating fried mushrooms and cooked quinoa, it's just not the case. That food is not alkaline anymore. Now, a little disclaimer there, you know, you can actually sprout quinoa. You can actually sprout wild rice. You can actually have these foods raw if you soak them in water. I'm not going to make this a sprouting video, so if you are interested in that, you can let me know if you want to learn how to sprout quinoa and wild rice, or you can just look it up here on YouTube, because so many fascinating people are making content about sprouting now. So you can actually have quinoa and wild rice in its raw, natural, sprouted, you know, much healthier state. But as soon as you put fire to that, above 118 degrees for more than 2 minutes, you kill the enzymes, vitamins, and minerals out of a food. You cannot heal while having cooked food. You may feel better. You may, if you go from McDonald's every day to Dr. Sebi diet every day, you're probably going to feel better. But when it comes to, you know, really reversing illness, I've seen some people actually heal their bodies on a whole food plant-based diet. I've seen that happen, so it can happen. But for people who are in really chronic states of health, you cannot have a bowl of quinoa, chickpeas, wild rice, some fonio, and some steamed kale and think that that's going to really heal your body. It just doesn't work that way. That's not how our bodies are programmed to function, and that's actually stopping your kidneys from filtering out lymphatic waste. Again, Dr. Sebi has talked about fasting. I've done a 90-day juice fast. I've done a 21-day juice fast. During my 21-day juice fast, I was following the fruits and vegetables recommended by Dr. Sebi. So I'm very familiar with that. I'm doing a 21-day water fast in December, so fasting is the way to heal. He did talk a lot about that. But, you know, when I went to the Usha village, There was someone there that was suffering with cancer, the people with all types of illnesses, and for lunch they're having this cooked food. They're having chickpeas, quinoa. I keep saying those two because those are really popular in the Dr. Sebi community and people who follow his food. That's not healing food. That is healthier food. That is food that's better than hot dogs and French fries and burgers. It's a hell of a lot healthier. Frying, some chickpeas is better than frying some chicken. 100 times, healthier and better, because you're avoiding that saturated fat, you're avoiding the hormones that the animals are pumped with, the antibiotics, all that stuff, as well as the adrenaline that the animals go through before they're slaughtered. So you get to avoid a lot of that, but you're not going to be able to actually heal your body per se. You may feel a little bit better, and some people won't. And so it was very disappointing when there was a guy from Europe that I met at the Dr. Sebi village who actually ended up passing away about a week after I came back home, and I built a really good connection with him there. And I wish I knew what I know now then, so I could have told him, you're not supposed to be eating this lunch with everyone else. You should just be sticking to water. You need to fast. You need to let your body rest. So I think it's very dangerous for people. Dr. Sebi's not alive anymore, so I'm not speaking for him. But people that are here that are trying to make money off of his name, that are promoting you to have cooked food and taking these few herbs to heal yourself. It just doesn't work that way. Another thing is that, me as a detoxification specialist, I look at everybody's body as an individual. Dr. Sebi's herbs are for a very general cleanse and a general detox. Client A over here that has, a virus, let's say they're dealing with an HIV viral load, and then client B over here who's dealing with NMO, they're not going to be on the same herbs. Their weaknesses are not the same. This is why I work with people on an individual level, on an individual basis. I go ahead and I send my, for my master detox program, I send a 12-page health assessment in addition to talking to the person on the phone, so that I can really take a look into their body and their organs. There are great herbs that are great for your lymphatic system and boosting your immune system in general, but you don't want to have everybody on the same herb because everyone's body is not the same. You don't want to waste money on herbs that you don't need. If you're going to invest in your health and you're going to spend a few $100s on herbs, let it be something that your body can actually use so that you can come out of that detox or that cleanse feeling and actually being healthier. You don't just take generalized herbs that are just for everybody. Those can be great periodically, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I recommend olive leaf extract to a lot of my clients because it is so great at boosting the immune system. But it is important that we take a very personal approach to healing. So I look at a lot of Dr. Sebi, and I'm not trying to put anyone down. I'm not knocking anyone's hustle, but I think it is irresponsible to say, here, buy this ebook of fried foods that are, on the alkaline spectrum when they're raw, but not when they're cooked. And, take these herbs that are just great. This is just going to detox you. And there's a lot of sick people that are going to go and pay for that because they don't know any better, and they're just, they're at their wit's end. They're at their last hope. But that's not how you heal. Not with fried foods. It doesn't matter if it's alkaline before it's fried. Once it's fried, it's no longer alkaline. And honestly, you shouldn't. Even though you can sprout quinoa and you can sprout wild rice, you shouldn't be eating grains when you're trying to heal. You really do kind of want to stick to fruits and vegetables. A little bit of nuts and seeds, but not too many, for balance, and depending on what your situation is. Again, this is a case-by-case situation. I don't heal everybody with the same exact, I heal everybody with the same modality, which is a healing-based modality, but I don't treat everybody the same, because everyone is not the same. You couldn't give me the same herbs you were giving someone that has cancer, or not all the same herbs, because I never had cancer. I wasn't dealing with that. I wasn't dealing with my systemic acidosis manifested as alopecia, as well as other symptoms. So it's just important for me to come on here and say that, I love Dr. Sebi. He has been a huge inspiration to me. Shout out to him. He has healed so many people. He is a true savior. But there's a huge misconception going around that you can eat processed cooked grains and quinoa and chickpeas and steam and cook your vegetables, cook the life force, the energy out of these perfect vegetables that were essentially already cooked by the sun. They're ripened for us to eat. That is what you need to heal. You can't cook that and then say, okay, I'm going to heal now. It just doesn't work that way. And I wish somebody would have made this video when I was healing, because it would have definitely helped me. I had to struggle to find the concept of healing through nature's law, really. Healing through moving out of your body's way, stopping what you're doing, and then bringing in only alkaline chemistry. Think about your body as a processor. You wouldn't put milk inside of your car to get it started, right? So why would you put, a burger inside your body to get it started when that's just not how we're programmed to function? By nature, we are fruitarian. We're supposed to be eating predominantly fruits. Fruits and vegetables is really all we need. Some nuts and seeds as well. And if you really, really are concerned with not getting enough nutrition, because that's a huge thing. I'm always talking to my clients about, you know, their nutrition concerns. You can take like a sea algae like chlorella or spirulina, which is abundant with vitamins, minerals, enzymes, all the essential amino acids, everything that we need to survive. I really hope that I didn't miss anything. I feel like I may have, and if I did, maybe I'll leave it in the description box down below. But yeah, so shout out to Dr. Sebi. Shout out to everyone who follows his teachings, who's eating his foods. I just wanted people to know that, you know, you have to heal your body with life. We are living beings, we need living food. Then, maybe after you heal, you can go ahead and choose to start incorporating cooked foods back into your diet if that's what you want to do. You don't want to overdo it, because then you will create acidity again. You stop your kidneys from filtering, your lymphatic system gets backed up again, and then we're back to square one. You know, so you always want to make living foods the majority of your diet. I shouldn't say you. I always want to, because that's what makes me feel the best. That is what has healed my body. I've been on raw living foods for 2 years. This upcoming February, which is a few months from now, I'll have been a raw foodist for 2 years. And it has been one of the biggest, you know, the best decisions I've ever made. And it has completely transformed my life. It is the reason why I'm doing this right now and why I'm working as a healer. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, I actually recently did an interview with The Beats. It's a vegan platform, or mostly vegan platform, and I'll leave that interview in the description down below. I know I've got a lot of people following me now from there, and I shared a lot about my personal story there. I get pretty deep. I don't think I've ever talked about it like that before, so if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave that down below for you. And if you are interested in actually healing your body, not treating your body with medication, not trying to treat something with herbs, but actually healing your body so that you don't have to take medication and you really don't need that many herbs ever again, you want to get to the root cause of your issue, I would be more than happy to work with you. I'm a certified detoxification specialist. You can visit my website, ascensionliving.co. I'll leave that in the description box down below, of course. Shoot me an email there, or check out my services, my 8-week master detox program, or my general consultation. Anyways, I hope you guys learned something. I hope this all made sense to you. I know sometimes this stuff is so ingrained in my head, but I forget that other people don't always know the terms that I'm using, so I have to kind of slow it down and break it down for everyone. So hopefully everything I said, I simplified it enough so that you can comprehend it. And I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Peace, love, and blessings.